Paradise is exactly like where you are right now, only much, much better. When love is gone, there's always justice. And when justice is gone, there's always force. And when force is gone, there's always Mom. Hi, Mom. Performance art is about joy, about making something that's so full of kind of a wild joy that you really can't put into words. I hate zoos. The problem with prototypes is they don't always work. Besides all those wailing details, Moby Dick is about someone who's looking for something so huge, something they've wanted all their life, yet they know when they find it, it will kill them. My work is more about trying to ask good questions and not trying to come up with big shows. Every fashion company is doing that. Every car company is doing that. The world is a strange and wonderful place. The only stuff I don't like are Broadway musicals. I hate them. I don't even like to talk about it. I can't bear musicals. I've been trying to avoid goal-oriented behavior. People are really suffering these days. There's a lot of corporate triumph and a lot of personal despair as they wonder what are they working for. My job is to make images and leave the decision-making and conclusion drawing to other people. I so much appreciate it when anybody tries to make something and tries to be an artist. I'm happy to see the work. It's good to take a longer view and think, what would I really like to do if I had no limitations whatsoever? You can do great things with low-tech stuff. You can do bigger and bigger things. For what? Writers want to summarize. What does this mean? What did we learn from this? That's a very 19th century way of thinking about art, because it assumes that it should make our lives better or teach us something. Why do you have to translate and decode things? Just let the image be. It will have a special kind of reality that it won't once it's decoded. The thing that's characteristic of my performance is that I literally do drag the whole studio onto the stage. The fewer expectations you have, the better. Something that has so much power must have life. Instruments have life. People only stutter at the beginning of the word. They're not afraid when they get to the end of the word. There's just regret. One of the things I learned from working on the Olympics was, the world does not need another big multimedia show. My secret dream is to write an epic poem. That's probably the most pretentious thing I've said. It's just such a great miracle when things do work, and they work for such a wild variety of crazy reasons. If there are bases on the moon, that would be the end of the moon as we know it. I've never really had a hobby, unless you count art, which the IRS once told me I had to declare as a hobby since I hadn't made money with it. I'm a real workaholic. I think women are excellent social critics. I think artists who are attracted to working on the net will adjust their work to the capabilities of a very small screen. I think a lot of people in Washington are extremely suspicious of NASA. I see and write things first as an artist, second as a woman, and third as a New Yorker. All three have built-in perspectives that aren't neutral. I really like books that you can kind of hear as much as think about, that are so graphic and visual. I just sort of wish people would dance differently. It reminds me of teenage sex. I have written a lot about snakes. There's something pretty primordial about it. I have written a few children's books. The first book that I wrote was for children. It was called The Package, and it was a mystery story in pictures. It had no words. I don't take compliments so well. I always hang my head and shuffle and kind of try to immediately forget. I'm not usually where I think I am. It's kind of spooky. I'm an average enough person to point to the things I've gotten to see that are awe-inspiring. At the School of Visual Arts in New York, you can get your degree in net art, which is really a fantastic way of thinking of theater in new ways. As an artist, I'd choose the thing that's beautiful more than the one that's true. As a New Yorker, I'm someone who lives on an island and looks across to America. A lot of words in English confuse the idea of life and electricity, like the word livewire. A lot of the work in the United States is highly critical of technology. I'm using 15,000 watts of power and 18 different pieces of electronic equipment to say that. A lot of artists who have a certain style are expected to more or less keep doing their style. It's so easy to get into that rut of production.